Joining me now from our bureau in New York City, President of Princeton Policy Advisors, Stephen Kopits. Stephen, 7 days until the first round of tariffs strike. But, you know, in a sense, I think the president has already accomplished his goal. Number one, he's got a delegation from Mexico in Washington, D.C. And number two, our sources tell us, by the way, they're not at the Department of Commerce. They're not meeting there and discussing things there. They're over at the State Department. Which tells us that they're talking about immigration instead of the tariffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, hi, Graham. It's nice to be here with you today. Yes, the president really is trying to compensate for a lack of tools provided by Congress. Congress opened up the border materially in February with the omnibus bill, and right now the president is just short of tools to fix his problem. He's trying to raise tariffs to do that. I think that's a very blunt tool, and I'm skeptical about it. I think we're going to see 2 really bad months for illegal immigration. Right now, we're tracking 116,000 apprehensions for the month of May just closed. So I think it's just going to be a bad time coming up.
So when you talk about that, just for clarity here, 116,000 for the month of May, those are the early numbers, maybe they're final numbers, I don't know. But when you say, you're indicating, I think, that things could get worse. And, you know, historically, you're correct, right? Because summer is upon us.
Yeah, so the numbers are preliminary based upon the partials that we've heard from other parts of the border, and that tracks us to about 116,000 for the month, which would be the worst for any calendar month since April of 2006, and the worst for the month of May since 2005 or 2004. That's already baked in, obviously. That's for the previous month. I think my sense is that both the Democrats and the Republicans need a deal here. I think that I am expecting, and probably the migrants are expecting, that may happen during the course of the summer, and therefore it's do or die time now for the migrants from the Northern Triangle countries, and I think they're going to come right about now, and so yeah. May and June, maybe into July, are going to be really bad months, tariffs here or there.
And so this is why the president is weaponizing tariffs, which is a bit of an oxymoron if you think about it, because tariffs are a weapon in and of themselves. And he's essentially saying that Mexico could fix this essentially overnight. When you look at their laws, Stephen, in Mexico, they have some of the toughest in the world involving immigration. And right now, they're not enforcing those, and they're not enforcing the sovereignty of their southern border, and they're certainly not enforcing the sovereignty of their northern border. And so this is what the president is seeing, and he's using tariffs as a weapon. But again, this is a means to an end here. And the end is, hey, get control of your border and don't allow these people to continue to violate our sovereignty.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the sentiment, but everything you said, Graham, is also true of the U.S. border right now, right? So you know, the U.S. is not the only country having a hard time getting a hold of things here. I think the Mexicans can do more, but I'm relatively pessimistic that it's going to be anywhere near where the president would hope for, even with tariffs.
Well, what is driving the president to tariffs are headlines in the news of the people who care about it, like Breitbart. And this one in particular, Stephen, nearly 9 in 10 illegal aliens recently released into the U.S. not showing up to court hearings. And so what's happening here is our entire system is on overload. The zone is being flooded. We can't even house them at the border. We're flying them all over the country. They're being held for X amount of days. They're given some paperwork, and then they're released. And you mentioned that, yeah, the Democrats and Republicans have to come together to find some sort of solution. The Republicans, I think, are ready, from what I understand. But are you hearing anything at all that the Democrats are willing to come up with some sort of legislation to end this madness?
Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi made some noises. Again, I think I'm quoting Breitbart, but Nancy Pelosi made some noises that she expected to have something done around midsummer. Democrats are in a tough position here. I mean, they will lose the House of Representatives if they don't get a handle on this pretty quickly. Right now, our forecast for successful crossings across the southwest border, so this is successful, people coming in, is plus 650,000 this year. Wow. And about 2/3 of that is asylum seekers. So things are far out of control. I just add in there about 260,000 by our forecast as minors, so children.
Right.
So those are going to start showing up in the U.S. school system pretty in significant numbers as the year wears on.
And who pays for that? We do. And those are record or near record numbers that, again, it's the domain of the United States Congress to fix. Stephen, thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.